The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 149 of The Daily Mother Swole. Sunday, fun day, flex day, every day. Today's episode, the drum roll. Brrr. How important is your appearance? Periscope. So remember, live on Facebook, live on Periscope, live on Busker, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. So this comes as a podcast. You can also watch us on YouTube, and you can catch me live every day at 12 noon Eastern Time right here on the live broadcasting networks of Facebook, Periscope, and Busker. How important is your appearance? Now, appearance is a very subjective thing. It's a very subjective thing to talk about because it is opinion. Appearance is opinion, how you look. You can catch me in Florida if you stalk me. Yeah, that's creepy. So how important is your opinion, your appearance, your opinion of your appearance? That's like that. I kind of stumbled on my words there, but that's actually true. How important is your opinion of your own appearance? What value or what weight does appearance have in your fitness, or should it have in your fitness and in your exercise and just your lifestyle? And I am here to tell you some things, and I want you to think about it differently because it's actually a lot more important than you think. I'm not saying you have to be and look a certain way. You will hear my talking points, and I think you're going to understand that it's very important to think about it in this sense. It's not blanket across, be happy the way you are, look the way you want, you're perfect the way you are. Yeah, you are to a point, but there's a level where there's a crossover between appearance and health and physical prowess and fitness, and let's talk about that. So first off, that was a segue right into physical prowess and strength. Number one, your appearance. When you look across the room, first off, first impressions. So this is just our society the way it is, and it's not just society with getting a job or making a first impression on a boss or a coworker or at a new at an interview. It's first impressions with anyone you make contact with. It's first impressions with a girl that you're dating, with a person that you meet that is a potential friend, a potential colleague, someone on the street. Everyone that sees you for the first time, that's all first impressions, and I think. Not that we have to value other people's opinion and we have to weight what we do based on what other people think of us. And I'm not talking about your appearance physically in this sense only. I don't want you to think it's superficial like that. I'm not just talking about your appearance because no matter what kind of shape you're in or how much weight you can lift and this and that, our faces are all the same. You don't change your face by lifting. You don't change the width of your shoulders, your height. So I'm not talking about people that are unrealistically prejudiced against certain things. It's like, that person has big eyes, that person has wide shoulders. Those people are just, very weak at heart themselves. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how you carry yourself emotionally. So everyone's going to look differently, but there's always those experiences we have when someone else walks into a room and you feel the energy change for the good or for bad, and you have a good feeling, they just have a good energy about them, they carry themselves well, or they look confident. And one of the things with exercise and your appearance and with fitness is that those muscles that work with posture, those muscles that keep your shoulders back, that keep your chest up, that make you look confident, those muscles are what we get from fitness, and that's part of your appearance, that's part of your emotional feeling of yourself. Standing up nice and tall and proud and powerful and in a good stance position, not slouching. These are all elements of your entire personality, your entire being, and your entire presence in any area. And it has to do with fitness, it has to do with stronger muscles, it has to do with being conscious of aware of your surroundings and of your own body and your space. So if you agree with any of these topic points that I'm saying and that I'm going forward with, make sure you float some hearts on Facebook, make sure you float some hearts on Periscope and Busker, and show some support, especially if you hear something that really makes sense or that strikes home to you. Make sure you hit that like button and you float some hearts and show some reps, and I appreciate it. This is hard, but you are so right. Mental is the hardest part of fitness or only train. Well, yeah, mental. I mean, first off, it's getting into the gym. That's a good point, Rosalie. Getting into the gym is one thing. And, it's just the mental part of going through your day and how you carry yourself. So, and this is one of the interesting things before I go too much into, this, before without getting on too much off topic, because this is a whole other show I could do on this. All you can do is control, all you can control is how you react to things. You can't control everything. You can try to do things. You can try to do things a certain way, but you can't control it. You can be aggressive. You can take action. You can do X, Y, and Z, but it doesn't mean A, B, and C is going to happen. Am I right? You can you can buy something from IKEA and you're like, oh, this goes here, this goes there. But you know that just because you bought it from IKEA and just because it has directions, just because it's supposed to go together, it's supposed to look the way it does in the store, doesn't mean the way you make it is going to end up looking that way. So no matter what you do, like you have your food and you're going to cook this meal and you're going to put the oven at 400 and you're going to line the pan with this and you're going to put it in for this amount of time. A lot of times it'll work and sometimes it just doesn't. You're at the different altitude, or it's too humid, or you didn't preheat the oven enough, or the fan was on and it cooled off, or who knows? There was a little water in the pan, so it stuck more. I mean, you can plan for a lot of things, but it's how you react. Are you going to be miserable as a result? Are you going to beat yourself up? Are you going to cry about it? Is it going to ruin your day? Or are you going to rub that energy off onto your spouse, onto your friend, onto your children? How are you reacting to it? So you can only control your actions and your responses. So your reactions are where it comes into play, how you react to things around you. If something bad happens, how do you react? Because how you react is how pretty much your reaction is just your first step in moving forward past into the future. So if you start from a negative, you're already behind. It's going to take you longer. So it almost behooves you to just let stuff brush off you. I'm not saying you can't have emotions. You're not going to have downs and lows, but you might come out of them a lot quicker if you think about it differently. So that's all you can control. All you can control is how you react. You can't control what occurs most of the time. Unfortunately, you can try to manipulate it. And some things you can I'm going to try to do this, and then the result happens. Good. But a lot of times it doesn't, and we know that. You could stay between the lines on the road and drive perfectly, and you could still get hit by a car just because someone else drives like a piece of shit. How do you react to that? Okay? And some people react amazingly when they get paralyzed for the rest of their life, and it wasn't their fault. And how do you get over that? I mean, you could just end your life, or you can react. It's easier said than done a lot of times, but that's the challenge. So functionality. Your appearance is functional. If you look out of shape, if you have a big stomach, if you have a lot of extra body fat, here's what happens. Your functionality is very related to that. And it's not being superficial like, oh, you have body fat, you're a bad person. No, again, I'm not saying you're a bad person, but you're not going to be able to bend down. You're going to have extra weight. You're going to have back problems. You're going to have problems getting up off the ground in 10 years. You're going to have heart disease. You're more at risk for metabolic diseases. These are just facts. Self-esteem, and we just talked about that a little bit before, how you carry yourself. If you don't have an appearance that you're happy with, things that you can control within reason. Obviously, you're not going to look like a supermodel if you're not a supermodel. There's a reason why you don't look like that person, because you're not that person. You're you. You can get the best version of you out of you, but it doesn't mean you're going to look like that. They might just have a smaller waist and bone structure. You can't just have a smaller bones. You can't just have a skinnier waist or skinnier, smaller hips just because. You just don't. You will never have, let's say, 20-inch hips because your bones are 25. I'm just throwing out random numbers, but you get the point. There's things you can change, things you can control, and things you just can't. It's roll the dice. What's up, smart chick? Good morning on Busker. So with appearance, with fitness, with appearance is important. And I'm saying it's important because appearance and aesthetics relate to even distribution of muscle and proper posture and proper balance and like the nice Jenga of the human body. But it needs to be for you as well. So the subjective aspect of appearance, whether you like big arms, big legs, if you have wider hips, no matter what you want, no matter what you have, no matter what you get, whatever you do in fitness with life, no matter what you do, has to be for you. And I'm pointing to YouTube, I'm pointing to Busker, I'm pointing to Periscope. You're working out and listening, nice. And I'm pointing to Facebook Live. You have to do it for you. So it doesn't matter. No matter what I spew, no matter what I say, anything, this is how you build a big chest. This is how you build big arms. A lot of it, like I said, is from my experience. It's from what's tried and true with my clients. It's what across the board will work for many people, but it has to be right for you. You might have to change things and you might not want that. So if you're happy with your life, if you're 200 pounds overweight, and I will say this, and a lot of fitness people won't say this, and I have videos out there on my Raw playlist on YouTube on the Raw where it's like, you're fat and you don't care, and I go after people saying, I don't understand why you let yourself. In many cases, some people try really hard, but a lot of people let themselves just be overweight and they just don't care. I'm not saying you can't be happy like that. I'm just saying I don't understand why you just don't understand and take advantage of the fact that you can be healthier, live longer, and be more mobile. But everyone's different. You need bottom line. You need bottom line to be happy with what you have, where you are, and where you're going. You have to. I don't care what you're doing, your job, your work, your family. I might say I never want to have kids. I don't have kids. Maybe someday. But if I say I never want to have kids, kids are the devil, blah, blah, I don't want kids, and you have kids and you love them to death, that's great. We need kids. I was a kid once. Let's say I want one kid. I don't want 3 kids. You want 5 kids. That's great. If you're happy, if you're happier than a pig in shit and you have 6 children and you're loving your life, that is a home run. That's a win. You're done. You did it. Congratulations. You're happy. Many people aren't. Most people are not happy. Most people aren't really doing what they want to do. They're doing what they think they should do. They're doing what their parents wanted them to do. They're studying. They're a doctor. They're a lawyer because their parents were, and they think they like it. They're doing it. They're just used to it. They're exposed to it because they grew up around it, and they're a lawyer. They're a doctor, but they're not at their core happy. They wanted to be a vet or they wanted to be a painter, but they didn't really grasp it. They just kind of pushed it under the rug and just didn't even look at it as an option because they just didn't feel like they had the ability. Yes, self-care should be a top priority. Exactly, smart chick. I said this in it was a post. I think it was also, I don't know if it was a Daily Swole. I forget, but it was on one of my social media. It might have been Instagram. It might have been Raw. It was on my YouTube channel. I think it was about being selfish, that you have to be selfish, and being selfish is a good thing. Being selfish is a good thing. It has very negative connotations. Being selfish has a lot of negative connotations, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't have negative connotations. It really shouldn't. Selfish is caring for yourself. It's caring for yourself. I know the definition of selfish has been associated with, caring about yourself and not anyone else, but why not? Why can't you care about yourself and no one else? Honestly, I don't think enough people, I think people are maybe self-concerned, or they focus on themselves and they do it for the wrong reasons, and that's why it's negative. I think that's why. You take care of yourself first and then you can assist others. I think that people are selfish, but they don't. The problem with society's view of being selfish is that people are being selfish, but they're not really being selfish enough, in the sense that they're caring about themselves, but it's like surface stuff. They're not really looking within. They're not really self-aware. They're not really digging in and learning themselves. They're doing what they want to do. Like, I want to go to the movies. No, I don't want to do that. No, I want this. No, that's for me. No, that's mine here. But they're not doing them, They're not doing podcasts. They're not creating their own little community. They're not being a painter. They're not traveling the world. Whatever you want to do. They're not really caring for themselves, because if they did, they would want to be around people and it would branch out and it would be selfless, because they'd be passionate about what they do and they'd be more at peace with themselves and they'd be more of a community person, so to speak, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I think really changing the view of selfish, that's what I'm going to do. I'll make a shirt that says selfish on it. I think selfish needs to be redefined. I think everyone needs to get a lot more selfish, but in the sense that you need to focus on yourself and everyone needs to start fucking doing them. Everyone needs to start doing themselves. That's what she said. I had to. But everyone does. Everyone needs to look within and start figuring out what the hell they want to do and start doing it, because there's so much pent up rage. I see people like at the supermarket, one little thing happens, there's a little line, like 3 people in front, and people just start huffing and puffing like, oh my God. I'm like, just stand there and breathe for like 15 seconds. You'll be fine. You'll get your fried chicken. Don't worry. Like, it's not going to go cold. Like, the world's not going to end. Just chill out. But all this stuff, it's like a relationship. I know I'm getting a little bit off topic, but this is good stuff. It's like a relationship. And everyone's had this where you get into a fight and you're fighting about something like in the kitchen and you're not really fighting about that at all. And you think about like, what the hell are we fighting about? Like if you think back on it, you're angry and you're arguing and you're yelling, but the fight really has nothing to do with what you're arguing about. You're in this like yelling argument and you're sleeping on the couch or you're fighting or you're breaking up. The fight has nothing to do with whether or not the pancakes were overcooked. They're a little bit dry. Like, who really gives a shit? It's not about that. It's like something that just blows, the champagne cork out. And it's just like everything just flows out. It's the fact that, you either live too far away or you don't give enough time to see the other person or you never support me on that. It's like all this stuff that comes out and it's just bullshit because people aren't focusing on themselves. They're not taking care of themselves. It's just, people are so stressed. They're so stressed and just caged and locked down that any chance there is to explode or to whine or complain or grumble or road rage or any of this bullshit, it just pops out and then it becomes this absolute mess. It's just amazing. And it all comes down to, I think, really, it comes down to people not knowing who they are and not doing what they want to do. Because if you do what you want to do, like really want to do, like I want to do this. And it doesn't mean like every time doesn't mean I'm not tired. It doesn't mean I'm not stressed. It doesn't mean I didn't spend all day yesterday trying to fucking work out some kinks with my video editor because I learned it by scratch. It's just complicated stuff sometimes with certain things. And I mean, I don't like that part of it. That sucked. But it had to get done because I need to continue doing what I'm doing. And it's just some things you have to do. You're not going to like everything that you do in your life, everything. But you do it to get to an end point, No matter what you do, you have a hobby you like. Let's say you love working on cars. You love working on cars, but you don't like it when something fucking goes wrong and the jack breaks and you have to go get another part. It sucks, but you like working on cars. But you're going to be swearing and kicking and slamming the, the wrench into the grass and damn fuck, I just, you're going to be frustrated. You're making a model, right? You're building, a model and all of a sudden it breaks, it falls down. You're like, oh, and you freak out, but you love doing it. That's why you did it in the first place. So things are going to piss you off and they're going to suck, even with stuff that you enjoy and then you love. You have kids, yeah, they're going to be pains in the ass. You're going to want to slap them upside the head. They're going to be annoying. They're going to keep you up all night. But you love them to death and you wouldn't give them away for anything. If you say, oh, we'll just take them away from you, you'd freak out. You'd be like, of course not. Yeah, you're going to have a shitty situation, but it doesn't mean you don't want them. So it's just, not everything's going to be up and up and up and up. And you have to understand that. And people sometimes use that as an extreme, like one bad thing goes wrong and they just avoid it altogether. But there's going to be downs, and the downs make the ups even sweeter. So you have to take that for what it's worth. Bodybuilding, getting back a little bit more on topic, your approach, your appearance. Your appearance is important because of that balance, because of that physique, because of those aesthetics. If you have proper aesthetics, if you have balance with your legs, with your front, with your back, your chest, anterior deltoid, posterior deltoid, your triceps, if you're balanced, you are going to be healthier, because if there's balance visually, it's because the muscles are pulling evenly around your body. When you are front loaded, when your anterior deltoid's too tight and your chest is too overworked and you're rounded in the shoulders, you have poor aesthetics, you look weak, you look meeker, you look sluggish, you have, kyphosis or rounded upper back. This is something where you're going to have physical problems. So your appearance relates to your actual strength. It relates to your actual capacity to have good posture and to have decreased pain. Those are risks. But aesthetically, if you look more balanced, you are going to be more balanced within, and that's when appearance can actually make a big difference. So visually, when you look at someone, you're like, man, that person's got no freaking legs. They don't work their legs. And you can tell, even if you're not a bodybuilding judge, you can tell when someone doesn't train a body part. Like, that guy looks weird. Like, he doesn't even train his lower body. But that makes a big difference because guess what? You're never going to walk on your hands. You're always going to walk on your legs. And if you don't train your legs, you have poor hip stability, then you're going to have more subjected or more exposed to lower back pain in the future. And you're going to be in a wheelchair because you're going to have low bone density. You probably don't do any overload, so you might have osteoporosis. It leads to other things. So aesthetics and appearance can relate and correlate directly to whether or not the person's balanced and the person has a good physique and the person has good structure and good balance and good flexibility. It all relates. So those aesthetics are important. And that's where I'm not talking about subjective, like, oh, I like that look, or oh, I like big shoulders, or I like someone with abs. That's opinion. That doesn't necessarily mean much whether you like a certain body part more. But if you have even development, and your appearance shows even development and shows a balanced physique, that's going to relate directly to your health and relate directly to your body's ability to have proper, proprioception and proper kinesthesia and proper structural balance and integrity, where you're less risk. Like if you have a real lower back arch, whether or not you like the way that looks, that's irrelevant. Like is subjective, that's irrelevant. But the fact of the matter is, your appearance, your physical looking at appearance, you have an extreme lower back arch. You're putting a lot of pressure on your discs, and likely you're going to have some lower back pain or issues, if not now, in the near future. And that's just based on appearance. So you have to think about appearance differently. It's not being superficial. It's being, analytical. And just in closing, because I know it's a long episode, but I know it's good stuff. We talked about a lot of different topics. It's whatever you want. It's whatever you want. No matter what I'm talking about, no matter what we're doing, and I mentioned this before in the podcast, it's whatever you want. It always comes down to what you want. You on Facebook Live, you on Periscope, you on Busker, you on YouTube, and those of you that are listening on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. It's whatever you want it to be. So if you're happy in your life, if you're happy with what you do on a daily basis, if you're happy with the people that you surround yourself with, if you're happy with your body, and there are illnesses and some people are just never happy with what they have. You need to be happy with what you have because that's what you have and that's all that you have. So really the only thing that you own, like if you have a car, if you have a house, the only reason you quote have this is because people that are stronger, that have bigger guns, allow you to have it. You don't really own it. You don't own anything. It doesn't have your name on it. There's nothing that attaches it to your person. If you take off all your clothes and you stand there butt naked, that's yours. Whatever you have on your person, your skin, not even your necklaces. If someone stronger than you takes it off, well, I guess it's not yours anymore. We have rules in society, but technically nothing is yours except your body. That's what I don't understand when people don't take care of the only thing that's really theirs. Because you could literally lose everything. Freaking concentration camps, World War II. I know this is taking a severe turn, but I want you to think about and appreciate what you actually have. People that are stronger, that are more powerful, come with guns and you're afraid for your life. They take off all your clothes, they take all your possessions, and all you have is you. And that's it. That's all you got. That's all you got. That's all you really have. That's yours. Everything else, general rules and people's common decency allow you to have things in your possession that only you touch. I only touch my computer. No one comes in through that door. Well, I'll tell you what, if someone comes in with a battering ram and people come in with M16s, yeah, I'm pretty helpless because I don't have 6 other people with me and I don't have a lot of M16s. So I'm pretty screwed. So it's what people allow you to have, what society allows, and what the common good of human nature allows you to keep within your, quote, possession. So my point being is that your body is all you have. So you need to treat it with respect. You need to treat it properly. And the way your appearance comes off reflects your care, reflects your prowess, your strength, your physical integrity, your posture, your first impression, your confidence, your self-esteem. It's all related. And a lot of you have more self-esteem when you look better, then you stand taller. It's like, wow, I want to take my shirt off now because I have abs and I have muscle. And just because you don't doesn't mean you can't take your shirt off. I'm just saying that it's all related. It's all related back and forth. It's not just all superficial. It has some actual analytical, benefits or analytical spin-offs from this. So if you have more of an aesthetic appearance, it's because you're more evenly balanced, because you balance out your body, and that will lead you to a more fulfilled, functional life and hopefully all those things I mentioned already. So take that in that context. If you're just coming in at a certain point, make sure you watch or listen to this whole episode. Use that context, be selfish, look at yourself, and take your appearance seriously, because that relates, and that bodybuilding take on it, that relates directly to your health and your general well-being. It really does. And it's not being superficial. It's just a human nature. It's a fact. It's an absolute fact. So thank you so much for joining me for episode 149 of The Daily Mother Swole. Thank you for floating those hearts on Periscope and Facebook. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep floating them. Remember, you can catch this on replay here on Periscope, Facebook Live, and Busker. And again, if you have not seen my YouTube channel, I have almost 600 videos on my YouTube channel. YouTube, Swolenormous, Swolenormous. Same thing here on Periscope. Swolenormous on YouTube, all the daily swoles, driving while gaining, swole motions, my vlog series, my raw, my motivational series, workout videos, exercise videos, all sorts of stuff on my YouTube channel. You can also find me on Snapchat, Instagram, Musical.ly, anywhere that you use social media. Type in Swolenormous, chances are I am there. If you are looking for advanced, personalized group personal training, again, those are there in premium. There's going to be more information posted today on your program design. So if you're interested in signing up for my private training group on Facebook, you can go to my website, Swolenormous.com. It is $4.99 only per month, and that's where you can ask direct questions, upload videos of your exercises, get form, I correct form live, or not live, but people upload videos. So we do form corrections. We'll do nutritional guidance. We'll do program design. We're doing step-by-step program design, personalized program design. So we get individual questions. We do group exercises in terms of developing a community. So it's free for $3.99. I don't know. You need to work on your English, Andres. It's $4.99. So Swolenormous.com. It's called Swolenormous Premium. It's through Facebook. It's a private Facebook group. So you have to fill out an application, and then you get accepted into the group. So that's totally cool. And there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out this week for that. And a reminder, Swole, the Daily Swole. Myself, I am going on a road trip, taking the Swole on the road. So the Daily Swole coming up this week, be in a few different cities. So Daily Swole will be in different locations, and that's going to be super exciting. So I do not know if I will be on Facebook Live for that, but I will definitely be on Periscope. So if you don't follow me on Periscope, check it out. Periscope, Swolenormous. That's where I'll be doing my live broadcast, because chances are I might not always be somewhere where there's going to be a lot of, or an ability to do a triple live broadcast on Wi-Fi successfully. So I might be on the road and I'll have to use my cell phone service. So I'll default to Periscope rather than Facebook Live for that. So make sure you follow me on Periscope for that. And I will see everyone tomorrow, Monday. Remember, premium members, I'll post up there too. But tomorrow is our accountability meeting on Monday. So make sure that you, 1 p.m. tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 1300 hours Eastern time, New York City time for the Swolenormous Premium Accountability Meeting. And if you like this episode, make sure that you go on YouTube. Even if you watched it live, when I post this to YouTube, make sure you go on, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. And if you like the video and you like the show today, go on to my SoundCloud and my iTunes and leave a review. 5 stars if you loved it, 1 star if you hated it. I doubt you didn't like it, but if you did, leave some feedback. Let me know what you think. But the reviews definitely help, and I really appreciate it. So thank you again. I will see you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time for episode 150 of The Daily Mother Swole. Have a good Sunday fun day. Enjoy down here in Florida. It's looking pretty nice. So enjoy your rest of your weekend wherever you are. Peace out. See you tomorrow.